My world flipped when I watched this video of David Cho, who went to live amongst the Hadza tribe.
Can I bring you to America and do a fashion thing and get you guys paid? And why would we want to go to America? Well, tell me what you know about America. Isn't that the place where people jump off buildings to kill themselves?
Watching this made me question everything. The Hadza life expectancy from birth is 33 years old. If I were in that tribe, I'd probably have a few years left. I don't think I would have survived, to be honest. They are pretty hardcore. They sleep with scorpions, wild animals, no medicine. It's literally Bear Grylls man versus wild, but constant.
Pee into the mouth is...
But maybe a bit less of drinking your own piss. So after listening to these interviews and reading books such as The Psychology of Money, I learned several interesting lessons that keep the Hadza tribe, on a whole, free from depression. The first interesting thing I noticed was how they hunt. Picture this, men running for hours.
Run for hours? What?
They would run for hours as a coordinated unit, as a team, with the hunting dogs running ahead of them. This is all happening whilst the women and the kids are gathering tubers, berries, and other very tasty things. When evening comes, they bring in all the food that everyone's collected for a feast, and everybody's happy, they're all dancing. One word that summarizes their food gathering and hunting is this: community. But what's so special about this community? What makes it so different between the communities that you and I have? Generally, there's so many characters in our communities, the toxic one, the complainer, the backstabber, but one word sums it up: selfishness.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
On the other hand, the tribes have a tribal mindset. They rely on each other to survive. They're not independent, they're codependent. These tribal communities are united in mission and mindset, and that mindset is survival. They aren't trying to outcompete each other, because in this kind of environment, when one person does well, like when he hunts a baboon or someone gets an extra big tuber, everyone gets benefit from it. Our culture, on the other hand, is mostly selfish and competitive. And it's not really your fault. We've been brainwashed by society and the way we were brought up. For example, in school, it's all about who gets the highest mark, who gets the highest rank, who gets on the podium. At work, you can get backstabbing and outcompeting people. It's highly individualistic. Now, I'm definitely not saying that we need to let everyone walk over us, give up capitalism and roll over and stop trying. What I'm saying is this: if we can be a little bit more like the Hadza tribe, when we're aiming for a promotion or aiming for the highest marks, we can do our best to achieve those goals and try to bring as many of our peers along with us. This could look like you offering study notes or training together and talking to your boss about how hard your friend works. How can I help our group to be better versus how can I benefit most from this? Try seeking out groups that naturally do this, especially sports teams or family or volunteer groups and church groups. Word of warning, some of these groups can also be quite toxic.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
The second thing I noticed is when reading The Psychology of Money, I was struck by the similarities between the Hadza tribe and Stephen Hawking. And no, not the appearance, but both of them don't have expectations. Allow me to explain. After the age of 21, Stephen Hawking lost all control of his muscles, couldn't even talk without a voice generator. Yet he was regarded as one of the Earth's happiest people. Pretty crazy. So they interviewed him, and he mentions how he was happier because his expectations were set to zero.
After my expectations had been reduced to zero, every new day became a bonus, and I began to appreciate everything I did have.
The Hadza tribe don't have expectations for life. They literally have a life expectancy of like 33. They don't have time to be sad.
So they joke morning till night. Like, I don't know what they're saying. Laughter, laughter. Someone cuts a fart, joke. And I'm like...
They have to just make the most of every moment. You and I often wake up thinking, man, I'm earning 70k a year, but I want to live a lifestyle like those with 100k a year. Believe me, once you get to 100k, your expectations will rise again. It'll be 150. So you'll always be unhappy if your expectations are above your means. The Hadza tribe's expectations are to survive. Literally the bare minimum, just like Stephen Hawking. Imagine this: if from today onwards you and I will wake up and just be thankful that you survived another day and see the sunrise, well, how could we be depressed? Australians are saying what income they need to be happy. Admittedly, the cost of living right now is quite high, but I don't think it's that high. Look at this, most people want 200k plus. By that logic, 99% of people are unhappy. I think it's partly due to social media and seeing all these so-called influencers show off a wealthy lifestyle. Something clicked when I watched this Mr. Beast video.
So you don't like go crazy? You don't have a Ferrari or anything nuts?
No. I think living your life chasing like a nicer car and a bigger and bigger box to live in is kind of like a dumb way to go about life.
The Hadza don't have cars, they don't have big boxes. They run everywhere barefoot sometimes, and their house looks like this. It's pretty standard across the whole tribe, yet smiles and laughter is constant. So why is it that even in these harsh conditions, the tribes are quite content? Compared to us when we travel by car, train, plane, have shelter, water on demand, and yet we want more?
Daddy, I want a squirrel.
So how do we become free of the slavery of a consumeristic mindset?
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
Gucci belt versus normal belt. The difference is rarely quality, but we don't buy it because of the quality. The higher cost is because you buy the status. We want to fit in with our friends. We want them to admire us, to be accepted by them. So the trick that helped me reduce my urge to buy branded things is this: self-awareness. When you're looking at that Gucci belt, ask yourself, why do I want it? If the answer is, I want to look cool, or my friends have the same belt, or I want them to look up to me, I got news for you, buddy. Even after buying it, you're probably not going to be happy. Why? Because you didn't solve the underlying problem, wanting the status. After spending 10k on a bag, it doesn't make that main problem magically disappear. I would be a fool to think wanting that bag would fix your underlying desire to be respected. So what do we do when that doesn't fix the problem? We turn our attention to buy the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, until you run out of money and you get even more sad. It never fixes the main problem. So a step in the right direction to solving the real issue is to realize that no one actually cares about what you own. People only care about themselves. Let me explain. Morgan puts it this way: when I see a person in a Lamborghini, I don't think to myself, oh wow, that person is an awesome person. No, I think, gee, it would be nice if I could have that, or if I had that car, people would look up to me. Notice what just happened. I didn't say that guy is cool, I said I want to look cool. Next time you want to buy something for status, realize this: whoever you show off your new purchase or your new wealth to, they don't care that you have it. They probably think one of two things: I want that for myself, or
you think maybe he's compensating for something.
What's worse is usually people who spend that money to buy these kind of things are people who actually can't afford it. Look at this article. This girl spends $2,000 on a car loan per month, plus monthly repayments of $4,000 per bag, and doesn't regret it because she says, quote,
society judges people based off their material possessions.
I don't think it's a coincidence that South Korea has the 4th highest rate of, well, ending their lives in the world. Rather than judging people by their material possessions, I think if people judged based off virtue and character, society would be a happier place. Of course, we can't change society, but realize this: if you can be the change in your friend group, that can actually start off a chain reaction.
And they'd get upset. Oh, why is she getting this? Oh, why is this happening? Why are they on Thursday night at 8 o'clock? Like, you're looking for reasons why your life sucks when you're in one of the best positions that a person could ever be in your line of work.
Comparison is the thief of joy. It's cliche, I know, but it couldn't be more true. I'm not sure if this has happened to you before, but it certainly happens to me. I'm currently on the iPhone 11, and I'm totally satisfied with this phone, but when the iPhone 15 comes out, I see my friend using it, and all of a sudden I've got this urge. I'm no longer happy with my phone. I want that one. But why? Like, literally nothing changed in my phone between yesterday and today. It's because of comparison and, well, FOMO, fear of missing out.
iPhone XS. It is the most advanced iPhone we've ever created.
Oh no, but the camera's better. Is it though? Every year they say we have the best iPhone yet.
An iPhone 15 Pro. These are the best and most capable iPhones we've ever made.
Since I've become more self-aware, I've been much better with controlling these urges. Another thing I want to tell you about is perspective. The Hadza tribe don't have a warped sense of perspective. It's all they've ever known, or will know. They don't really wish for things to be better. If we had proper perspective, we'd realize we're actually living an amazing life. Picture this. Plato and Aristotle are famous figures and philosophers of the past. They were one of the most wealthy families in classical Greece. These philosophers are sometimes referred to as happiness gurus, or the pioneer of happiness. They were probably more wealthy than you and happier than you. You're probably saying, of course, they're happier because they're wealthy than me. Well, with a bit of perspective, you can realize that our lifestyles are much more rich and lavish than theirs. They lived in a world where toilets were bad. Everything probably stank. They couldn't travel fast, they couldn't catch a plane to explore the world, they didn't have modern day medicines, they died from all these diseases, they couldn't taste different cuisines from all over the globe. And here's something that would have been really jealous about: the internet, the world's knowledge at your fingertips. Once I realized that we're actually living a richer life than the wealthiest and happiest people of the past, what excuse do we have to be more unhappy than them? Most of the time, unhappiness is a choice. We choose unhappiness when we compare ourselves to others. Now, with all this talk about being content with what you have, I'm not implying that we shouldn't be ambitious. There's nothing wrong with a bit of ambition, nothing wrong with trying to level up your career and try to earn more money. But it's important to do so whilst being content with what you have, and having the ambition to generate more wealth for the right reason. And that reason should never be for yourself. That's inwards focused. I think the most sad and the most depressed people are always doing things about themselves and thinking about themselves. Why does this happen to me? I want more of this. Why did she do this to me? Me. Rather, try have ambition to be successful so that you can serve others, your family, friends, and the poor. That's what I think is a life worth living. That's all I have to say today. There's a bit more I want to say about the Hadza tribe and how they're so happy. That can be for a future video, but if you want to see it, please press like and subscribe so you can see it. If I get over 200 likes or something, I'll definitely post it. So we'll see how we go. If you want to support us further, we've got an app that's coming out. It's called chronocat.app. It's in the description below. Just click on it and then it will lead you to the website. My brother and I made it and we actually use it personally. It's really cool. You can actually track what you want to do throughout the day and focus on one thing at a time.